Hi guys, Avirup here. So FPL is now live, and today I decided to create a video not really about the first draft that I have, because obviously I'm still kind of trying to make sense of the prices and how to kind of get it all together. But instead, I'll be kind of creating a video of how I actually enjoy using the FPL data. So in front of me, you'll see this is a very wonderful article written by Jens Leslie, where it kind of shows us how we can use the FPL API and get fetch data from there using Python. So our main focus is actually in this endpoints, which essentially have these data. Like for example, if I go to the fixtures, it has all the fixtures for all the list of the 380 matches that will happen over the season, and this is actually the endpoint that we have made use of. So like without much delay, let's kind of go into the code. Now, a quick disclaimer, I have already written down the code and I'll kind of give you a very brief walkthrough of what the code actually does. So our main goal in here was like we as FPL managers rely a lot on the upcoming fixtures, and this code will essentially help us understand which teams we can target at a particular period in time. Like say, for example, which teams to target from say game week 1 to 5, and we will kind of get a brief idea of how we can actually do that. So let's get started. Uh, as you can see in here, the data that we are fetching is actually from the Fantasy Premier League API. And here we are fetching, the static data, which kind of gives us the teams, the number of fixtures, chips that are usable, and along with that we have also gotten the list of all the fixtures. So if you check in here, we have the list of the teams with the particular IDs, and along with that you will also see this is how a particular fixture looks like, where you have the away team, the home team, and along with that we also have the difficulty for both these teams. Now the IDs in here are very important because this will help us tie us back to which teams are actually playing against each other. So let's keep moving along. So now we will kind of, create the team fixtures. And as you can see in here, we are not simply just focusing on what FPL has given us in terms of fixture difficulty, but we are kind of making a few amendments to it. The amendments are like say for example, if one of the top five teams from the last season is playing the newly promoted sides, and so it has to be 1 and 5. So regardless of whether it's a home or away, it will be 1 and 5. If they're playing someone else, if they're away, their difficulty is a 4.5, and for the teams that are playing them at home, there it's 1.5. So that is kind of like a very small tweak that I have made, and after that we can get the fixtures by week for every particular team. And in this case, like say for example, if I look at Everton, you will see that they have three fixtures with a rating of 1.5, which is when they're actually playing these newly promoted sides at their home. And then I have a small snippet of code, or where I kind of have like the list of the game weeks at a skip of two. So essentially it translates to like game week 1 to 5, 3 to 7, and so on. And what I have tried to get in here is not just the list of the teams, the fixtures, but also the top five in terms of the average difficulty of each of these teams. So for example, if I look into say, game week 1 to game week 15, this is how it looks like. Like for game week 1 to 5, and even for game week 3 to 7, Spurs are the team with the lowest average difficulty. Now that means they could be a team with potential value to offer. Now, if I kind of look closely, I see that from game week 7 to 11, Wolves have a rating of 2.7. Arsenal has a rating of 2.4. Now, if I kind of quickly look for Arsenal in this scenario, like let me just quickly make a change. So Arsenal is playing game week 7 to 11. So say 7 to 11. Now, the reason why I need to have these sort of indices, I think the people might know, is because of how Python works. And if we check in here, we will see that most of the teams that are playing are at home. Sunderland, they're playing away, but this seems like a relatively good fixture. Now, if I kind of also try and understand, what if I kind of, rather than taking for, uh, in a sequential manner, what if I take in its entirety and try and understand which teams have the best fixtures? So we see that from game week 13 to 17, Manchester City has the least average difficulty. Now, if I quickly try and check which are the teams, or rather the fixtures for Manchester City during that time frame, we will see that they're playing Leeds as well as Sunderland at home, and the rest of the three fixtures are also not that difficult. So this is how you can play around with this particular piece of code. You can tweak it a bit to try and make it something that works for you. And I hope that you will really like this video.